Yeah. That's something.
My doctor didn't believe in ultrasounds or anything.
Oh, yeah. Well, if I could know where it is.
I have a heartbeat.
Yeah, that's all I have.
Oh, okay. Gave it to me at the end of the day and I wanted to talk to Sarah a little bit about it, but we approved it to my treasure box.
Because her son's back up here, isn't he?
That's what I was saying.
Getaway time.
Girlfriend, they're here.
Who moved to Texas?
Yeah.
My brother
Hi, Sarah.
did. No, my brother moved just total opposite of here.
Is it weird to be sitting in a chair?
That's why my
Like I get nervous at home, but this is like a whole nother level. It's been a long time.
2 years, right? Do you have to be here or can you still do virtual?
All right, I'm going home.
Yeah. Go sit in your car.
I am
Go
good,
sit in your
right?
car.
I'm normal.
Oh, funny. Are we ready? Ready.
7 o'clock. This meeting of the Willamina School Board is called to order. Let's start with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
That free statue.
First item on tonight's agenda is Board of Education, the Willamina FFA presentation. Do y'all want a drum roll?
Thank you. All right.
Oh my gosh, you guys all match.
Yeah, we got an outfit just for you guys.
Sweet.
Yeah. Hello, my name is Spencer Onstad. I'm a Sentinel at the Wilma FFA chapter, and I'm here with a few of our members to talk with you guys because you've been so supportive of our chapter in the past years, and we wanted to tell and show you about some of the things that we've been doing recently, like the Polk County Fair and State Fair setup, and a couple of other activities that are agriculture related. And I'm assigned to talk about the State Fair setup, so I'll just start with that, shall I? And State Fair setup is basically we go to the State Fair and set up animal pens for the showmen at the State Fair. It's a contract that we have with them, and they pay us for the hours that we work. And it's not like easy work. We have to assemble these giant panels that are supposed to keep in giant animals, and we all work very hard most days. And yeah.
Let's sit down and introduce ourselves.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay,
Vice
I'm
President.
Gracie Dunn, and I'm the president this year.
I'm Leanna LaPointe, and I'm the chaplain.
I'm McKaylee Floyd, and I'm the vice president.
I'm Alice LaPointe, and I'm not an officer.
I'm Jalen Hipton, and I'm the reporter.
I'm Paige Baker and I'm the treasurer.
I'm Zach Bradley, I'm not an officer. I'm David Neese, the advisor.
Jim. Oh, it's my turn, okay. So, my topic is the Polk County Fair for sheep, and you're also.
Why am I?
Okay. She is also a sheep shower. This year was my very first year of showing a lamb, and I was very nervous, but I had the help of my chapter in helping me show. And my little brother may have not made weight, but he got grand champion for novice, and I got reserve champion for showmanship. I think we did pretty good this year. We flipped some butt. What would you like to say?
I didn't place like great, but I still got to sell mine for I think it was $11 a pound, and gosh, it's my second year. So
And who else showed sheep with you guys?
There was Paige James,
yes, River,
Fox,
River Fox,
and there's
Lily Crow, Camille Crow.
that was it from our chapter. Yeah. But I think we did really good.
Good job.
And then we're talking about the beef area where we showed our steers. I've done beef for 2 years, and mine made weight, and I sold them for $5.50 a pound.
I've done beef for 2 years. Unfortunately, I couldn't bring my steer to fair last year. We had to butcher him 12 days early. But I got to show another steer that I've touched for 5 minutes, and I got third place in showmanship.
I got reserve champion in showmanship.
Good job. Good job.
I think.
I'm going to be talking about rabbits, and this is my first year of doing rabbits, but I got reserve champion for novice for my first year. We got
You got grand champion for novice.
Yeah, you got champions.
Oh, yeah.
It's because I wrote it wrong on the board, you forgot.
Yeah. But we got champion for our chapter for rabbits, and we also got herdsmanship for our rabbits as well. For turkeys, Jolene got reserve champion for novice. She also got herdsmanship for our chapter.
And 3 of our rabbit showmen were brand new, and this was only the second year Willamina, to my knowledge, in history, has ever had turkeys, but possibly a long time ago. They had turkeys before, but we had our second year with showing turkeys, which is a learning experience for all of us. But sorry.
I'm McKaylee, and I did chickens this year. It's my second year doing chickens, and we had 5 exhibitors at the fair. Sienna Williams, Kylie Williams, Braden Hibden, myself, and Rebecca Neese. We raised our chickens for 8 weeks before taking them to fair and then auctioned them off at market. And this year we're pleased to announce that we got let me make sure I get the wording right, Superior FFA exhibit, poultry exhibit. There we go.
And herdsmanship.
And herdsmanship, yeah. I'm Gracie. I've showed swine for 2 years now. It was Maddie Deal, Spencer Onsott, Max Dunn, myself, and Paige Baker. We all made weight. There's a couple that barely made it, but luckily we did.
It was hot this summer.
Yeah, it was kind of tough because it was hot and there's just some stressful things that happen with animals, so it really takes a toll on them. Maddie Deal got grand champion showmanship, and then my brother Max got reserve champion for novice. It was his first year, and then Maddie Deal got reserve master showman. So we're very proud of all of that.
And I was really pleased because there was only one species that our students didn't win the herdsmanship in of all the chapters. And they were 1 point away from winning in that species. So we were like 2 points away from having a sweep in herdsmanship, which is something that our students can control as we're at fair, how they behave, how they set up their pins. We got a special thanks to Robin Onsett and all the decorations. If you guys were at fair and saw them, she was kind of the brainchild behind that and did a lot of the work behind that. And then the other thing is we had superior chapter on a couple species. And I felt great about our novice. It's hard to judge how well somebody's doing in fair if you're a second year kid competing against maybe a person that's been showing since 4th grade. But a novice, they're all first year. So we got reserve champion and champion novice in rabbits. We got reserve champion and champion novice in sheep. Second year showman got reserve champion overall in beef. Poultry was a whole weird thing with the avian flu, but nobody got a champion from anywhere on poultry, but reserve champion in turkeys. So I feel really proud of what our kids did there, and thank you guys for having that be an opportunity for us to work all summer long and sweat and sometimes bleed and sometimes cry way more than we expected.
Don't forget about the cool sign that the girls made in our custom.
And those signs were also the brainchilds of the La Pointe girls that we copied throughout the barns, and they were a real hit at fair, and they went along with the decorations that Robin made. So it was awesome. That I'm really proud of what they did, and I appreciate you guys letting them do it. All these guys, except one of them, are planning on going to national convention with us. So, Gracie was going to say something about that.
Oh yeah. So I'm supposed to be talking about national convention. Not really sure what to say because I've never gone. This year's gonna be my first year. The last year that we went was 2019 before COVID. That was my 7th grade year. All I've really learned from the upperclassmen when I was in middle school was that it was this really big fun thing. You get to travel to Indianapolis, Indiana, or sometimes it was in Nashville, Tennessee. It's this really big convention that you get to learn about everything. FFA, there's national opportunities you get to meet everyone across the U.S. And I think it's a really cool thing. I know when I get back from it, I'll be able to tell you guys everything that happened and how cool it was. But this year's the 95th, right? 95th year. So yeah, we're super excited about that. Do you want to add anything, Niece?
Well, I'm excited. I haven't personally gone as an FFA, a Willamina FFA advisor yet. I've only gone one other time as an advisor. What I like to do and what I think makes the trip so worthwhile is Oregon's cool. We have great tall forest land, Doug fir timber. We have some row crops. We have some nurseries. But over in the area we're traveling, Tennessee, of course, Kentucky has the horses. They have horse parks. Indianapolis, Missouri, the lower parts of Illinois, they have massive fields of corn, soybeans, which is huge worldwide agriculture, but we don't really have that here. So we will do a few tours in agricultural farms and businesses and industry, check out some historical sites of Civil War, things that we can't do here. Just hopefully bond as a team, keynote speakers, professionals that, top 500 companies in the country will hire for some of the people that our students are going to be able to see present and stuff. So I'm excited, of course, nervous as the person that's in charge of making sure everybody gets back safe and sound and all that other stuff. But excited because we have 4 seniors right here that have never had an opportunity to go. And this is their last chance. So, and then we have some juniors that, depending on how things go, might be their last chance to go. We do have a freshman that maybe will have a future chance in the future. But anyway, I'm excited, and I thank you guys for what you guys do.
Thank you. Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Any questions?
Proud of you guys, though.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
It's not easy getting in front of people.
You did well.
You said good to go.
So,
Thank you, guys.
You're great.
Alrighty, continuing on with the consent agenda.
I move to approve the consent agenda as presented.
Second. Motion to approve the consent agenda as presented has been moved and seconded. Are there any questions or comments for board discussion? Hearing none, I call for the vote. All those in favor of approving the consent agenda as presented signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed signify by saying nay. Vote is unanimous. Next up on the agenda is our superintendent's report.
Right, well, I don't know if you got a chance to, or if you do get a chance, if it's still light out when we adjourn, to check out the track. It actually has 8 lanes striped right now, so it really looks like a track right now. There's a lot of details left to put on it. You know, our hurdle marks and our exchange zones and a lot of those details. But you look down there and it's very clear what it is. You go down and step on it and it feels fabulous. So we are hosting football Friday night, so I hope you can get a chance to get to a home game soon. I'm sure between myself and Craig Johnson, we are both going to drive each other crazy about nothing on that track. So we have a list we started because we have a track and field, no blah blah, and we keep adding bullets to it. It's like no chairs, no running on lanes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and no pets on the rubber surface. Just cleats. So, we're going to really try to preserve this track and make sure that we're all taking good care of it and that will last for generations. One of the things we're going to be doing, though, just like we've done for our roof and our road repair, is estimate what the cost will be when it's time to, whether it's resurface, restripe. They recommend every 10 years you do a certain level of maintenance. So we're going to start a maintenance reserve fund for the track and field, so we don't find ourselves in this situation in the future, that we will have the funding to maintain it, and so that we're not looking at tearing it down to the base layer. And it was just a crazy summer with oil prices, and just about everything every material they had to use was petroleum based, and so the cost was crazy. But I honestly did not think in my career I would be long retired before I saw that refinish, so that's pretty exciting. We have started the site preparation for the middle school. Skolton Construction has come and got rid of the trees that needed to be fallen in the area where the new addition will be. They did a great job getting them down, cleaned up, and before kids started school. So that was really nice to have that out of the way. They hope to do a little bit more before winter sets in, get rock down, things like that. The plans are pretty much completed, and now that one of the long waits is just the permitting process. So we need to get our permits done and start lining up subcontractors. Our district leadership team met tonight. We reviewed documents tied to our Division 22 standards. So our Division 22 standards is ultimately what we consider our annual report. It goes through all the things we're required by policy to implement as a school district, a public K-12 school in compliance. Everything from diploma requirements to mandated curriculum to instructional hours, and almost everything is related to policy, which you all oversee, but it's ensuring that we are implementing it to the language in those Division 22 standards. So the leadership team, we broke into 3 groups, and we each took 20 of those Division 22 standards and went through and jotted down the evidence we can demonstrate as a district that we are in compliance with those standards. So that was very helpful. The last thing, I guess I kind of jumped ahead, is finance. I just wanted to bring you up to date on a few things. Obviously, this group approved a budget at the end of June. We had 3 pretty hefty grants that will be sunsetting this calendar year. So we have our distance telelearning grant that originally was $350,000 approximately over a 3-year span. This is the final year to spend those funds. We had a YCCO grant for $750,000 over a 3-year period. We're in our last year of that grant. And we thought we were at the final year of our peak, which is PE expansion K-8. So we call it Peak 8 grant. But we were actually, they reached out to us and said, hey, we have $65,000. Can you use it? So we were able to hire a PE teacher for this year only to help with K-8 PE. It had to be used for that purpose. So in your consent agenda, you can see you approved the hiring of Zach Spink. He is a 1-year PE teacher for the K-8 program this year. Local Dayton alumni. He is getting his Master's of Art in Teaching right now through WU. We also received notice that we were successful in an $82,000 Willamina Workforce Grant that is being targeted for a commercial driver's license preparatory program. And as I mentioned, the $65,000. We are still working without a contract with our certified union. I don't foresee it taking a whole lot longer, but we had a meeting set up for February 9th, and then we didn't have power, so no school, so that meeting didn't take place. We hope to meet again soon. We have 31 articles in the collective bargaining agreement. We have 3 left to tentatively agree on, and then it'll move for the group to vote to ratify it, and then it will be presented to you for approval. But we're still working on compensation, insurance, and teacher work here. So those 3 articles are left to settle. And then the final thing that I did not put in my board report, because I was working on it today, and I submitted my board report last week, is our annual reporting for our student investment account. So this is just, it's also on our website. It's required to be on our website, but the important thing is that that it's presented to the board in a board meeting, and it's reflected in our minutes so that I can attach the minutes to the report when it gets submitted to ODE. This is the funding that we received through the corporate activity tax that was passed several years ago. They called it the Student Success Act, and that Student Success Act is broken into early learning, student investment, and I think higher ed. So the K-12 portion is the Student Investment Account, SIA, and we have to do quarterly reports. Our district leadership team developed our Student Investment Account plan, which we were focusing on student health and wellness. There was 4 areas you could identify for student investment account funds. It was student health and wellness, it was extended instructional time, it was well-rounded education, or college, expanding your college options for students. We chose student health and wellness, and we chose well-rounded education. So one of the plans for our funding is we spend it on our behavior coaches to help support student behavioral needs during the school day. We also have expanded our CTE programs with some of that money. And we expect when the middle school is completed to restore music at the K-5 level. So hopefully that will be next year. The intent is to have the building ready for occupancy in the fall of 2023. So we expect to be shopping around for a music teacher or have one employed by this time next year. So thank you for allowing me to surprise you with that. That it will be on our district website as well as submitted to the board. And that's it for me. Any questions?
What about the thing on the bottom? Is that later? Oh, the CTE with the auto? Is that later in
Naming the auto shop for the, yeah.
the CTE?
Oh, yeah. So thank you for reminding me. It has been suggested by multiple people to name our auto shop after Steve Bob.
That was one of the names I had.
So
It's giving me chills.
it requires board approval. So I would like for you to, if you would like to wait till next board meeting to approve it, but I would like you to consider that we officially name the automotive shop. They've got a great little setup inside there after Steve Bob. He was instrumental when the kids went to the road show. When we brought Gene Winfield back, he was the one that organized the meet and greet at the casino and made all the arrangements for Gene Winfield to stay. And I mean, that's just one example of how he has supported our kids throughout the many, many years. But, you know, he just, you know, just made that a reality for us to bring someone so stellar to our program, and we'd like to just acknowledge him.
That's cool. I read that, I'm like, okay, who's?
That was one of the names I wrote down. Well, if it's all right with you as a board, I would go ahead and approve it now to name it Steve Bob.
Steve Bob what? Just
Automotive shop. The
Yeah.
Steve Bob. We already have a student and it's Lillian Oswald. She's quite an artist, and she's been doing some freehand work working with some signage. And actually, Billy was willing to come, because one of the first things I did was I asked the family if they would even, you know, allow it for us to entertain a motion to the board, and he was very, very supportive. But Steve has a lot of art in our school. You know, down in our football team room, there's a big sign that says Pride. There's the elementary, Little Bulldog is his work, our gym. But he has his signature on all those, and I was looking at her artwork and I'm like, man, it's really similar to his signature. And so she's really developing a freehand thing. She'll end up translating it to a computer image, but it's kind of in his style.
That's cool.
Okay,
Make a motion to do motions in seconds.
Yeah, I make a motion that we call the new CTE Auto Body Shop Steve Bob Auto Body Shop, or whatever it is they're gonna do. Wait a second. Can I make a comment? A couple years ago, Steve wanted to do something in memory of my father because he had my dad as a teacher. And my dad was a big icon in this community back in '53. He started the welding program, FFA, wrestling, you name all. And so we took a milk can and he painted it, and my dad's picture in my dad's hand. It was
Oh, that's cool.
my sister has it now, but
Awesome.
he's a good person. So anyway,
He painted some for Sharon too after Wes passed.
Yeah.
The motion to name our CTE Auto Shop Steve Bob Automotive Shop has been moved and seconded. Are there any questions or comments for board discussion? Hearing none, I call for the vote. All those in favor of naming our CTE Auto Shop Steve Bob Automotive Shop signify by saying aye.
aye.
Aye. All those opposed signify by saying nay. Vote is unanimous.
Thank you.
I think they're going to dedicate it
At
at
the
the
Bulldog
Bulldog
Bash,
Bash, yeah.
yeah.
So thank you for approving it tonight.
Oh, cool, yeah. Just a little time.
Yeah, thanks.
When it comes to somebody like him in this community, I'm sorry, they're important, just
Yeah.
like Roy Zimbri
Yeah.
and other ones. It's just,
Yep.
I appreciate it, thank you. Next on our agenda are principals' reports. First up is Sarah.
All right.
Take a deep breath.
You can stand behind the monitor if that makes it easy.
That would, a little bit, like a car door or something.
Well, it's nice to see you guys all in person for the first time, so thank you for putting up with me on a screen. It's been a really great start to the year. We kicked off our in-service week with a Happy New Year bash, simply because this was the first normal New Year we had So we went from, our theme was from surviving to thriving. And it was really good just to start the year off and move forward with education the way we have been. We reviewed our new initiatives for the year, and that includes our response to intervention for math. We've got reading down pretty good. We've got multi-tiered systems for behavior. Math has been kind of and we'll get to it. This is the year we get to it. Restorative practices, and a new style of individualized professional learning for staff. And we're going to try that this month, so I will let you know how it goes. We've done a lot of professional learning this year already. Teachers received training on the DESA, which is the Devereaux Student Strengths Assessment, which just kind of gauges a student's social skills. And then we use that data to provide interventions and really kind of boost up skills so that they're able to focus on academics. We were fortunate to get a new reading curriculum, which is called Into Reading. The nice thing about it is it's got, it's aligned to the Common Core, which we haven't had for yet. But then it also goes into the middle school. It's the same curriculum they use. So we've got that vertical alignment. All of our arrows are pointing the right way, finally. It's really exciting. There's a great online component, and our teachers are really just kind of diving into it. We were able to attend the CTGR Education Summit as an entire district staff, which was really nice to have everybody there. Lots of great information, and especially when you think you know it, and then there's just more and more and more. So we all really got a lot out of it, learned a lot about the history of the tribe, and then our goal now is to implement Senate Bill 13 lessons in our classrooms and in our school, and really kind of go from there. We also sent the last 5 remaining staff members to be trained on the PACS Good Behavior game. So we are 100% classified and certified trained on PACS, and it really provides us with a common language when we're working with our students, just in terms of how we intervene with them. The PACS Good Behavior game addresses things like impulse control, a sense of community, and really child empowerment, creating their own environment and what they want that environment to look like. As far as the school improvement plan, we had kindergarten transition camp the week before we had teachers here. We had roughly 60 kindergartners join us for half a day. It was really great for them to meet all 3 teachers, kind of get acclimated to the school, to the procedures before we had everybody here. They did a lot of learning and growing. They actually did really, really well. And then on the first day of school, they were like professionals. They were ready to go. Bye, mom. See you later. And off to class they went. So it was a really nice, successful transition for all of them. And then we had Meet the Teacher Day, which is kind of our tradition. We usually have parent-teacher conferences. We've been asked to call it Meet the Teacher Day, simply because we don't have anything to conference about. We don't know your kid. So we had Meet the Teacher Day on the very first day of school, which was August 29th. Parents came into the building for the first time, which was really nice to have. They met their teachers. They got to see the classrooms, see the hallways and libraries and everything they've been missing out on for the last couple years. We have 3 new staff members at our end. We have a new office secretary who replaced Donna Morell. Sarah Lux, who is formerly Sarah Mode, so we're really fortunate to have her. She's a great fit up front. She knows the community, she knows the people, and it was just a really seamless transition from her and Donna. Zach Spink, like Carrie mentioned, has been doing Peak 8 at our end. He does big body breaks for kids in the morning. He runs an adaptive PE class for our new life skills program. And then he also runs some structured games out at recess, providing our kids with a little bit more structure out at recess. And then Lori Jordan just started last week. She is our new special education instructional assistant. So far, she's doing a great job. One of the new things for our building is responding to the needs of a big influx of life skills kids coming in, nonverbal, with lots of life skills challenges. And what we found is that while we want to have them in the general education classroom, sometimes they need specific programs for them. And it was easier to have a classroom because there are so many. So Max Skolton and Alyssa Isley are our 2 LRC teachers. They kind of broadened their horizons and opened up a life skills classroom next door to the LRC room. And they've got different stations mapped out, addresses each kid's needs throughout the day, and then they try to mainstream the child as much as they can, so that they can have class with their general education peers. It's been a big learning curve. I'm really proud of them for taking that risk and going for it. It's been a really big success so far. We did dissolve our structured learning program, which was a program specifically designed to target kids on IEPs for behavior needs. With Corey Blackwell, Corey moved to the middle school, and we're just trying to go from there without her, but making it happen. Some upcoming events, we did have our Dibbles Day already, which is our reading screener for all the elementary students. A lot of emergency drills canceled. Vision screenings are coming up. Picture days coming up. Our numbers have really fluctuated, but we've kind of settled down at 369. And then the biggest one, and I do want to invite you guys, our goal this year is to do more things as a district. So combine crossing the cafeteria, including the middle school and high school and elementary and things. And so we've decided to combine our open house into a district-wide celebration. We're able to have parents and community on campus. Let's go big. So we've asked Lynn Shore to make picnic dinners for everybody. So families are going to be encouraged to bring a blanket, have a picnic dinner. We've invited members from the tribe to come out and speak, and then we have hopefully a live band coming.
Hill Street.
Hill Drive. Yep.
Yeah.
So
Logan
live
Ellen
band.
and Nehemiah Creel.
Yep. We have the book fair going on in here. Traditionally, it'll be come visit your kids' elementary class, but then also come see the new Steve Bob Automotive and Dedication and the new track, and meet your school community resources. So we're going to have people out front with from all over the community with resources for families and students, concession stands, and then just meet the staff. It's been 2 years, so we're really excited. Please come. I'll make you a name tag. It'll be great. So we're really excited to finally have everybody up here.
It's a good day. It's my son's birthday.
Oh, we can have a party too.
He went to school here too.
Bring a cake.
Get a band for him. I mean.
I'll tell him to come out for this.
There you go. So, long report. Lots of good things going on. Any questions?
I have a question,
Yes.
but it's probably here somewhere, and I didn't read it, but the Senate Bill 13
Yes.
says that.
So Senate Bill
in a
13
nutshell.
is teaching Native American curriculum in the classrooms. You probably know more specifics about it than I do, and all the specific.
Probably, yeah, if you're okay with me talking about that.
Absolutely,
Okay.
yes.
Senate Bill 13 is tribal history, shared history, so it grants or it requires that schools teach local native-based curriculum within the classroom, and it also allocates funds to tribes to create that curriculum so that it's place-based rather than just general native history curriculum. I think the requirement is for it to be taught. 4th grade is like the big key year that it starts being taught in schools, and then 8th grade, and then I believe 10th grade or U.S. history. It's kind of covered within that. Cheyenne, though, has developed curriculum. She's kind of revamped what was already there, and then I was briefly in that position, and then Cheyenne kind of took over, and she's got curriculum K-12. I think the only grade she does not have curriculum for right now is 7th grade, and that'll be done by the end of the school year. And the curriculum's designed not to replace anything, but to supplement what's already there. So our
our kind of philosophy in offering it to teachers is that we're not saying that anything you're teaching is wrong. We just want to offer a different perspective that comes from what we're creating. So for example, if you're looking at high school curriculum, the goal is more to, if you're talking about government structures, to add in tribal government structures as well from the perspective of the tribe, and then you're not having to take anything out, you're just adding that in there. With elementary, it's the same thing, you're teaching literacy anyway, and here's an option of a book that you can implement that is local and native based, and you're still teaching the same concept. So it's not designed to be taught all year, to just plug in where it works and meet that requirement.
Tribe has, last year, we had some teachers create lessons under the Senate Bill 13 with the help of Justine and Cheyenne and other members out of the tribe. But then they also have a great resource as well as ODE with lesson plans that address Senate Bill 13. So we're going to be working a lot with our teachers this year and getting some feedback on how that implementation is going and what supports they need, and really trying to figure out what it looks like in the classroom. And then we also have Emily Rawls, who does specific, she calls it Canvas class, and it's a special that she's been really working with members of the tribe in pushing in during those times of the day.
It was exciting during in-service week, Wednesday, the tribe had their education summit, which they've been doing, what, 7 years?
I think this was the seventh
year. And the presenters, I think I counted, there was about 11 presenters, and I think 9 were Willamina alumni.
Yeah.
So it was exciting to go see former students present what they're experts in. You know, we had everything from tribal partnerships to salmon restoration to language restoration to first foods, family engagement activities, and information. So that was, and it was great for our staff to see who they could connect with, and who they can connect with for building lessons might be someone they already know. And so that was a real highlight.
And I think just hearing the teachers talk, a lot of them, because not all of us have the Native background, it's really important to get that perspective and the history and the understanding, so that when you do teach it, you have a wider knowledge base and you feel a little bit more comfortable teaching and understanding. So it was a really great learning opportunity for us to get that history and really kind of feel more comfortable teaching.
Alrighty, thanks.
Thank you. There's a long answer for you. Thank you, Justine.
So good.
Appreciate it.
Next up would be Ms. Jamie. All right, well, I'm here by myself tonight, and so as you guys
You
all,
have this young man.
well, no, I know, I was saying, my partner Sean, who we love, and we wish all the best for, but we do have a new assistant principal that started with us, Derek Barnett. He's not here tonight, but just another really quality human being, and very similar in
Sean-esque.
just very like similar in just overall, I don't know, just it's good. I think he's going to do a really good job. So I'm feeling very lucky and fortunate in such the short amount of time. And I will say that I feel that way about all of our hires this year. I know a lot of people around the state that are really, really struggling and with finding good people. And I think we hit the jackpot. And so I feel really fortunate that our students have the quality of teachers that we were able to hire and bring here. Professional development wise, in-service week was great. We started off with some team building, and our, me coming in right before COVID and then being here for COVID and then finally having like a year that is, I don't even want to say normal because I don't even know what that means anymore, but we just, looked at this. There's a Henry Ford quote that stuck out to me that said,
coming together is the beginning, and then keeping together is progress. And I think of what we've been through the last few years and how we've been able to maintain and stay together, but then working together like truly is success. And so one of our big goals this year at the middle school, high school is to, because there are a lot of things, there's so much going on, it's impossible for one person to just do all of it. And so we want everybody to discover their strengths, including our students, but with our staff as leaders, we want them to discover what they're good at, and then how can they make our culture better and put their talents to use. And so we're really going to do some deep dive around our own personal strengths and talents. And so that's I think I'm going to get it wrong, but our first quote we did, our thing was the strength of the team is the individual, and the strength of each individual is the team. So it was like, we want to really get to that place of where can you contribute? It doesn't have to look the same, but we all have that. And so that was a really good team building time with our staff. We even rewrote the school song. We had like 6 versions of it. And so our spirit club is going to be working towards taking those and making it into one. So that was fun. We did, then we spent on Tuesday, we did some, in June, Sean and we did a survey of our staff and our students, a pretty lengthy one. And we spent some time in June really pouring through it and finding some themes and things that people had suggestions for change or what we could improve upon and what they liked. And so we, the area of behavior and attendance came out, and so we spent some time really rethinking our structures and our systems and our people and how we're utilizing them, and once again getting the most out of everybody, maximizing their strengths. And so that was really powerful. And then we are now in that implementation phase. So we spent some time going over that with staff, some of the new expectations or modified expectations, just because we kind of had to live in this for a year to really see like where we were going and what was needed for our students. Then we did the summit, and I just, I want to give a huge shout out to Adam Langley, who is our native teacher here. And here you work with someone for a couple, 3 years, and then you see them in a whole different light. And it was just like, wow, it was so awesome. It gives me goosebumps. But like, it's neat to learn a lot about people that you that you think but then you see them in a different space and time, and just the knowledge. And then we, on Thursday, JJ Flynn has really been, our school resource officer has really been, he's been really on top of us looking at our standard response protocol, like our safety here at school. And so we're going to implement a monthly meeting with our district, our admin, to look at our safety protocols and look at things. And so we're reviewing that. We were supposed to have a lockdown on Friday, but a practice drill, but we didn't because we didn't have power. But so that's something that we're really trying to make sure that that everyone knows what's expected, and that we have good things in place, and we have a different set of eyes looking at it through a different lens. So I appreciate that. Our first day of school was Monday. We did not do the meet the teacher time. That our students were here. They came at 11. Scott Nelson went out and got donuts for the entire school. So the middle school went to their gym, the high school went to their gym. They got their schedules. Some got lockers. They got to go to their advisories and just kind of like ease their way in to the year, and just kind of get to know each other and reconnect, which is what we wanted. And then Sean and I decided, rather than, we haven't really gone over some of these expectations with students. So rather than having an assembly or trying to do that where nobody pays attention anyway, we made 3 videos because we like to make videos. And so we did attendance, behavior, and lunch expectations. So smaller videos so basically everyone in their advisory heard the same message from the same people, but not in a venue where there's like 100 people trying to listen. And then we had follow-up questions that the teachers could ask the students and just make sure they understood what the expectations were. And then the students got to run through a mini version of their schedule. So on Tuesday when they came, they knew what they were needing, where they were going, the classes. We have a lot of new students, a lot of new faces, which is awesome. I mean, it's really cool to see. But so anyway, that was our first day. I just, like I said, there's people that really help you get school started, and there's a lot of things that need to happen to make that happen. And I just want to thank, I welcomed Derek because he's our new person, but I want to thank Scott Nelson for just helping us with those beginning, like the energy, trying to help the energy, bring the energy for the students. And then he also does this every year with kids. They paint the bulldog paws going up the hill for the kids. And I know Ryan helped him because I saw it on Facebook. I don't know who else was there.
I just want to say, I think that's something I get comments on from everyone, like whether it's from people from out of the district to kids this big.
Mhm.
I know I'm going to the bulldog school because I saw the paws.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. They're bright and they just just like a fresh year. And then Treon Nelson is our new counselor this year. She went from being a longtime math teacher. She's in the counseling office, and wow, have we like sparked something in her? Like it's like a new fire, I guess. And she's just doing a fantastic job. With schedules and transcripts and trying to really learn the position. It's a huge learning curve, but she's got the right like this is hard, but it's good hard. Like I'm in my sweet spot. So that's been a lot of fun to see that, and she's just done a great job. So I wanted to give her a shout out for that. Kids pretty much all have their schedules, and we haven't really, and we're going into week 3, which is great. Like not a lot of changes. And then Chris and Kathy in the office, and Marley, just like, there's just so many pieces to start the year, and they're putting in long hours, and I just really appreciate all the things that they're doing. And then I did want to point out, and Carrie referred to her, but Lillian Oswald, she's a quiet leader, and she's one of those people that is very talented, and she spent a lot of time here this summer painting all over the school because she's an artist, but she also helped clean some painting things up. But in our hallways, she helped we have quotes throughout the hallways, and she added some new things, and then they updated some of the quotes to be more relevant for just for our kids today. And it's more about it's the art, but it's also the purpose behind the art, and it's to make it meaningful and to have it represent our culture. So I just want to give her a shout out because that was pretty amazing. Right before school started, we had Camp 6. This is our second year using our summer program funds for our 6th graders to come on campus for a week for a period of time and just learn all sorts of things about being in middle school and 6th grade and meeting their teachers and walking through a lot of procedural things, doing some team building. Very successful, and it helps really ease that anxiety for those 6th graders coming in. And then we also did the same with our freshmen, a second year of doing it. And last year was Camp 25 because they were class of 2025, and this year it's Camp 26. And so 2 great things about it. Number one is, we do get to help ease anxiety for freshmen. They got their schedules early, they got their lockers, so they weren't fighting everyone. They weren't not fighting, but you know what I mean? Like, where do I go? What do I do? They got to go on a tour. They got to see where their classes were. They got to go to mini sessions where they got to learn just little things about being Bulldog and like what's transcripts and what does all that mean. But and it was short and sweet. We had pizza, and Lynn helped us out. But the other piece for me is we also have our juniors and seniors, like about 20 plus juniors and seniors who are acting as mentors during that time. So they're the ones that are helping lead the sessions. They're the ones that are guiding the kids, and they're helping them with their lockers. And that's what I love, is I love to watch these younger kids like come up as leaders. So next year's juniors will have been through this as freshmen. So they're going to have this like, oh, I remember. And we want them to be a part of that planning process, which they were, and then implementing that. So it's kind of a twofold, you're getting that. And then the other piece was the freshmen have like some kids in the hallway that they'll see and that they'll be able to go, I know you. And then they all got a t-shirt. It says all together, it's orange. And last year's freshmen got it as well with their class of on the back. And our idea is, in 2 more years, the whole entire school will have orange t-shirts with they'll all get their first spirit shirt. And then, I just wanted to congratulate our FFA students, just with showing their animals at fair. I got to go watch that, and that was really neat to see them in their element. Also, our TJ Wilson with the Willamina Customs did like a few car shows this summer. One of them was with Steve Bob, and so that was really special to get to do that. And they made trophies and are demonstrating some of their metalworking at the car show, so that's been really cool. And then we got a new digital screen printer, so they were making t-shirts and selling them, and then our kids actually made the t-shirts for our freshmen with our equipment, so that was really great. We also have 2 new classes this year that are kind of, in the English department that I wanted to, when we were talking about the Native stuff, we expanded our English department to offer a Native American English class that Adam is teaching, and then Rachel Bevins now is teaching CTE English, which is English in career technical education. So it's the reading, writing, listening, speaking, but in more of a technical workplace. So like a lot of our students they're going to learn more of that technical reading and writing, which I think is, so far it's been really successful to see the kids feel like, okay, this is relevant to me. So that's something we are trying out. And basically there's a lot. It's just like we just started, but it's good. There's a lot happening. So.
Yeah.
Are there any questions?
I think we'll just let that go.
Oh, 9th grade on track. Yeah, we'll be starting that.
Is Adam Langley Brian's son?
No,
No, okay.
relative though.
He's
Okay.
actually Michael Langley, who's on council. It's his youngest son.
Oh, okay. They're related though.
Yeah, he grew up in Rainier.
Oh,
Yes.
interesting.
Next on the list is our tribal report.
Student.
Okay, that's me. I actually haven't met a good amount of you. So my name is Justine Flynn. I'm the Youth Education Program Manager, and I've been in that position for about a year now. And when that transition happened, there was a lag in someone attending these meetings. We didn't know who was going to be that person, but I'm going to take it back up again. I am a Willamina graduate. Graduated with Carly, 2010. I grew up in this area my whole life, and I'm a tribal member out in Grand Ronde. So within our department, we have during COVID and during that whole transition year, youth education kind of split in what it was doing. And so now the responsibilities of like after school, no school programming, summer programming are separate from where youth education is solely focused on education. So we have academic coaching and advising services. We offer advising services to all tribal, descendant, and other Native students that are in Willamina and Sheridan school districts. And so advising includes the advisors checking with teachers, checking with parents, attending IEP meetings, checking in with any speech services, anything that has to do with education. We would like to be involved in that. Academic coaching is more geared towards students who have lagging skills or have a subject-specific need, and so we'll assign academic coaching if a student's really struggling in math, if a student has lagging skills in letter sounds, things like that. They'll get an academic coach that works with them one-on-one. That fills up very quickly, so there's not a lot of availability, but we do have some availability right now. We have 3 coaches that are focused on middle high school, and we have 1 coach right now in the elementary, and we're working on hiring another one, and then we have 1 coach that's over in Sheridan full-time. And also within our department is Adam Langley, who is we call him our Shawash academic teacher, which means Native academic teacher. And he teaches 2 Chinook 101 classes, 2 guided study classes, a Native literacy class, and his Shawash studies class. And Shawash studies is like Grand Ronde tribal history. And those classes are offered to all students within the district. And actually really exciting this year is we're putting some money towards his classroom because we want it to be a very like Native focused space. He has students across the school that come and hang out in his classroom, and we just want to create a space that helps them feel more comfortable and more reflective of a lot of the students within his classes. And he's just someone that kids connect with and like to be around, so they go and hang out in his classroom. He doesn't get a lunch break because they're in there during lunch. So also within our department is Cheyenne Height, who is also a Willamina alumni, and she's our curriculum specialist, and me and her do the bulk of curriculum work, and that entails creating the curriculum, but also a lot of what we're doing is consultation with teachers. And so We recognize that it's really hard to teach this curriculum when you don't have the background and you've never been offered the background, because that's why we are doing what we're doing, because it's not there. It was not created before. So we recognize that that's difficult, and we want to make it as easy as possible. So we'll offer professional development whenever it's requested. We will co-teach with teachers. We will look at lesson plans and look at where things that we have fit in. We want it to be as easy as possible for you to implement these lessons and feel as comfortable as possible teaching it. And part of that is taking the time to learn history. The bulk of working with our students, or what you might face as far as resistance from our students, comes from any kind of historical trauma that has been passed down generations. And so understanding just our brief 300-year history of Grand Ronde specifically helps understand why the curriculum is important and why it's created the way that it is. So it was amazing for us as a department who put that on in Cheyenne, organizing it, to see so many district staff attend that. We were extremely grateful that they took the time out of the day to do that. And we felt like it was very bridge building for us to be able to offer our perspective and for them to like be engaged with that. And so to be able to have that experience was great. And we were super grateful for that. I wrote down some notes, but I don't know if there's anything I missed. I think that's all for me. I also do know that MOU went to council yesterday, so that's being worked on.
Awesome.
But that's all I know about that.
Thank you.
Any questions?
Thank you. And finally, from our reports, our student report.
You guys want me to get up or
So
sit
patiently
here?
waiting.
Whatever you want.
Okay, I don't know if you know me. My name is Ryan Nelson. That's my father. I'm a junior this year. My brother was the ASB president last year. We're talking about like some sports stuff, some club stuff going on. So this summer, leadership students spent a lot of time in the high school, as people talked about. We painted the paw prints. We redid some of the quotes in the high school. One of them is by Rosa Parks, and it's "You must never be fearful of what you're doing if it's right." And there's another one that we painted over the freshman lockers, and I haven't gotten the translation yet. It's something in Chinook. I know she's working on a translation under it. We had a freshman camp this year, which we also had last year, called Camp 26. It was pretty good success. We had some juniors and seniors come and introduce the freshmen into high school and talk about like lockers and expectations of differences between middle school and high school. Homecoming is September 26th through the 30th, which we are kind of working on getting ready. Football this year is going really good. We have about 25 guys. We're currently 2-0. We beat Sheridan last week, 63-6.
Nice.
And we beat Klatskin the week before, 34-28, both away.
Nice.
Our JV just played tonight against Blanchette. They lost 8-6. It was a really good game. And then we will play Blanchette here on Friday. Volleyball currently has about 30 athletes. They played today in Culver. I think they won, if I heard correctly. Last week the varsity beat Sheridan, and they went to some tournaments this weekend in St. Paul, and both teams won their brackets. Cross country ran at the Oldsmook last Saturday, which is in Zweffel Farms near Tillamook and Estuca. And on Thursday, they will be competing at Silver Falls on Wednesday. Or last Thursday, completed Ultimate Wednesday this week. Mr. Volks is working on getting a clay target team together. I have some flyers if you guys would like them. He is actively seeking students and would like to get involved. Mr. Lewis is working on pep band. They just kind of like got it finalized, and they will be performing this Friday at the game. And he's working with media production, getting their stuff ready for their film that they make this semester. The FFA students had their presentation. That's about it. Any questions?
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Sorry, I talk fast.
That's good. Okay, now's the time on our agenda for audience input. Is there anything from the audience that they feel needs to come before the board that is not on our current agenda? Alrighty. Next up on the agenda, reports and discussion policy updates.
So, we will be adding some policies into your packets over the next few months. Most of them have to do with just language, minor language change, very little to do with the substance of the policy itself, but mostly having to do with pronouns or changes in that direction. So, OSBA just sends us each month which ones are going to be on the docket and need to be reviewed, revised, and so these are just some of the upcoming ones that you will see over the next few months that we will be reviewing and adopting. Other than that, I don't know if Sarah, you want to just, I mean, you talked about the Bulldog Bash, right? So, I mean, that's just the one thing I really hope you get a chance to come to. We're excited. We're going to make it a big deal, and our goal is to have an event at least once a quarter that we can invite the entire community to, not just our families, those with children in the district, but anyone in the community, because so much of our support comes from whether they have alumni or whether they're just members of the community and they like to come to sporting events, but just getting them up here to see all the positive changes happening and support our students would be appreciated. Friday night we have a home football game on that track. Not on the new track, but if
Need extra security.
I might be a little, excited about that.
Can I say something real quick? I forgot one thing. We are currently also in the works of making like a pep squad, which would be a group of students who will like go to all of the sporting events. Shaughnessy So Happy is working on that, and we got some like Bulldog swag that they'll get, and that's in the works right now too. So I forgot about that.
No age limit on joining the pep squad?
I think it's high school, but I mean, if you want, yeah.
No age limit.
Exciting.
And finally on the agenda, go ahead. I will entertain a motion for the Oregon Savings Growth Plan.
Okay. Move to approve the Willamina School District to offer the Oregon Savings Growth Plan 457B feature as a retirement plan to employees of the district.
Second.
The motion to approve the Willamina School District to offer the Oregon Savings Growth Plan 457B feature as a retirement plan to employees of the district has been moved and seconded. Are there any questions or comments for board review? Hearing none, I call for the vote. All those in favor of approving the Willamina School District to offer the Oregon Savings Growth Plan 457B feature as a retirement plan to employees of the district signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed signify by saying nay. Vote is unanimous.
And we already did that.
We did. We can do it again if you want. There being nothing further on the agenda to discuss, the meeting.
Question.
Yes.
I don't know, I can't remember if we've done it before, but because I'm a big supporter of the FFA kids, do we normally give them money?
Typically,
nationals?
yeah, so.
I mean, I know they didn't ask for it.
I know, so David, they are going to ask for it in October. So they will formally put
that's
in a,
right.
yeah.
Sorry, it's at the end.
It's
of
not
it.
till
Okay.
November.
I was thinking, I don't know why, I was thinking 8th, that's awesome.
Yeah, so,
Okay,
yeah,
my bad.
at our October meeting,
Okay.
they will ask permission to travel out of state. They do need board
That's
approval
right.
to do that. And then typically we, designate an amount to help
Right.
support that.
Okay.
Those
I jumped the
expenses.
gun.
Yeah, thanks for the
Sooner
reminder.
than later.
I know, David came in, it's like, no, next month you can do it.
Nice. Okay. Sorry.
That's okay. Any other questions?
No.
Are you sure?
Yes.
All right, there to be nothing further on the agenda to discuss. The meeting of the Willamina School Board is now adjourned.
I mean, look at him.
Yes.